2. This took me forever to watch. Again, like 2 hours, but I watched it for like 4. It's not a good film. It's your typical Disney straight-to-DVD sequel. Bigger, louder, lamer, dumber. So, we have, in theory, two antagonists. Not villains, just antagonists. But they are practically one. So there is this military contractor, business rival to the Stark Industries. I don't know how they are on the market when none of their shit works. I have no idea why. You could have given them one thing. It wouldn't change the movie. Instead you inserted that lame Ghostbusters cross the rays, beams, whatever reference. That was lame. And again, what is the enemy? The super villain, supposed to be Mickey Rourke's character. When this movie came out, I remember it looked like a very lame Bane wannabe from the Batman trilogy. And Bane was already a lame, evil, super evil villain, whatever. But what is his shtick? What is Mickey Rourke's shtick? No idea. And they build it as a mystery, but as it has no relevance to anything happening, it's just an inconvenience. You could have told us everything at the beginning of the movie and not waste our patience with it. Now it's just we are waiting to something. Mickey Rourke to become something, but no. And he has these laser whips. What? Those are lame weapons. I mean, Iron Man has laser beams. And he has a laser whip. What? And he uses it exactly once. But question the movie here. Why is he going to Monaco, the Grand Prix, Formula 1? Tony Stark's last-minute decision was to be the pilot of the car. By the way, this is absolutely comic book logic, because you cannot be a good F1 pilot just by talent. You have to practice, learn the cars. Otherwise you are just fucked behind. That's not driving. That's memorizing. And this sequel is full of it. Someone again reinventing that mini reactor. Why? How? They told us that how many years since no one made anything of it. And here comes just yet another person and reinvents it. And I hate that the MCU cannot decide what is Tony Stark's big deal, the armor or the reactor, because that's two separate things. What's the important part here? Now, Mickey Rourke's electric whip was done great by the Russians in the 2007 movie The Guardians. That was great. Here it is lame. And in the end, it is just, again, one version of Iron Man's suit fighting another version of Iron Man's suit. We had that. If you just give me Mickey Rourke with his whips, I would like it more. It would still be dumb, but as this is a comic book movie, I don't mind dumb. But this is waste of time. We are also introduced to Black Widow, who will be a nothing character. Forget about her, she will do nothing. We start to get used to Agent Carson, good, and there is the bodyguard. They are building him up. That's good. That's fine. We still have Gwyneth Paltrow. Their chemistry is fine. They changed the black friend character, you know, the magical black guy, because at least Marvel was open about it. They told us before the movie got released, we are changing the character, the actor. And the guy does a well enough job with it. The movie tells us that before we even see the guy, that this is the character who in the previous movie was. So when we see the face, we already know this is the character. This is how it is done. Done correctly. Great thing, no problem there. And the studio also told us it was a payment issue. The original guy demanded not a higher salary. I can understand that. Everybody can understand that. But the same money as Robert Downey Jr. got, who is the title and main character. That was absurd. And the black guy's case is further weakened by he became a conspiracy terrorist, really. So everything is fine there. Where I'm not fine is the rival, whoever the guy was. I'm not looking at it. He is one of the familiar faces of Hollywood. The actor does his best with the character he is given, but the character is shit, badly written. You know who is great? Great casting, everything. The Senator. I love to hate that guy. That's... yeah. And now we have a ton of suits, Iron Man suits, because merchandising opportunity. And we had at the end clash the two tractor beam and it blows up. This was not established anywhere, so it's just lame. I was to be complaining about the relationship with Potts not going anywhere, but okay, now they are officially dating, so that's at least something, really just a bone to the fans. I expected more from the bird, like that having some blueprint or whatever, but they built nothing on it. I was also annoyed by the magical hacking skills the guy had. He is an engineer and a hacker, and he doesn't even use his programs, he just knows stuff. What? And So there was something else I wanted to mention, but slipping my mind, so whatever. But this American thing that the big American lie, one of those, that I privatized peace. No, you didn't. Now you are just a word dictator. You are literally Dr. Von Doom. And what's the deal with the reactor? Seriously. Why is that never sold? That should be sold everywhere. Why is that not accessible? It's just a power source. On the other hand, when the Shield comes up with now their cure, temporary cure for that new ticking bomb for Iron Man annoys me to no end, because why doesn't Tony Stark know about this lithium dioxide? I have no idea. But I won't complain much about this new element. The theoretical, I think, because it is not told us anywhere, I think it is a super heavyweight element, because there is this, at least the numberings tell us that all the elements are here and this part is radioactive and these are, the bottom is more stable, hydrogen and all that kind of stuff. But in theory, if you go much higher, substantially higher, you could make a bit of new stable elements, not even radioactive. And I won't even go to how polonium is not really proven to be causing illness in human body, because maybe they wasn't sure, and or at that time, and that kind of stuff. That's okay. And giving this suitcase to Tony Stark and not directly telling him that this is the element you need. He likes riddles, so it's maybe a brain tease. They know he will solve it and he can be proud of himself. That's fine. On the other hand, they could have just synthesized themselves. Maybe? No? The timeline is messy because this was released in 2011, but they say it's just half a year after the previous Iron Man movie, so it's maybe second half of 2008, maybe the late first half of 2009. But there is also a data that puts this in 2011. Yeah, I know. No, that's sorry, no, not 11, 2020 something, because they say it was 70 years ago when Howard Stark's stuff was done, Expo was done. So, and that was according to the poster in 1954. So this should be 2020. That's obviously not happening. We see a shield of Captain America, maybe a prototype shield, I don't remember, we will watch it soon. And we see at the end of the movie Thor's hammer. So yeah, I will check up if we have some webisodes, those 1 minute things between here. I have some old notes for these. So when exactly happened things in the past is a bit wonky. It just points that details, attention to details was not on the top of the priorities, although you should always have a guy who makes notes of all these relevant things. When is when, who is where. And yeah, there was this problem with Anton Wanko's dissidation to USA. At one point they say he deported in 1963, I think Samuel L. Jackson says that. But at another time we see a newspaper article which says the dissidation happened in 1966. So that again makes this whole thing wonky. More complaint is that both of the antagonists are deactivated. Obviously the rival corporation won't come back because, arrested and all that kind of stuff. And Mickey Rourke is dead. At this point, it's fine. But we start to see the problem of the MCU. They are accumulating heroes while the villains keep dying, except in the Incredible Hulk. We have 2 possible villains from there. So that's a fun thing. But I'm really not a fan of this movie. And aside from the post-credit scene, it has like no relevance to this. But talking about the post-credit scene, Marvel Disney had patience back then. Iron Man 2 was released in 2010. Thor got released a full year later. That's admirable patience. They should relearn this skill.